Tighten your seatbelts and fasten, bring your seats up, move your headrest back to their original position, and put away your tray table.
Here at 427, we have a feeling that Florida is maybe the top US destination for car fans. So we've decided to put our money where our mouth is and fly from Ireland to see for ourselves just what the Sunshine State has to offer for automotive enthusiasts.
Daytona Speedway, Florida, USA. Daytona, Florida, USA. The home of racing, the home to the Motorsports Hall of Fame, and home to the first ever tri-oval racetrack. Daytona Speedway consists of the big main oval and the infield circuit. However, there's also the museum on the inside, which me and Connor decided to have a little look through.
We would have gone to Sebring, but they don't have a museum.
Yep.
Sports cars!
Yeah, it was IMSA. So this one here is really, really cool. This is the Jag XJR7, and as you know on the channel, we're pretty fond of Jags.
We like Jags.
We like Jags. This had Jag's V12 in it, which is the same V12 that was in the XJS and the XJ12 and basically any V12 Jag that they did for years.
Yeah.
This raced in a series called IMSA GTO, which was American's version of Japan's Super Silhouette series, kind of. They're just big, crazy things. And they said themselves they didn't win every race they wanted, but they always won the beauty contest, and I think it's fair to say, that's cool. So this is the fabulous Hudson Hornet. To anybody who has watched Cars, they will know what this is. This was the most successful stock car at the time, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's why it was the big deal in the show. That's why he was the doc.
There's a brand new set of Goodyears from probably about 70 years ago.
They actually? I don't know.
No, it must be newer than that.
No, but I meant the fact that they're actually like new.
Well, they've still got a sticker on.
With a banana on top for some reason.
For scale.
Banana for scale.
Will these tyres fit my car? I'm going to check it against the banana here.
I can't tell if that's Burt Reynolds or
I was going to
Dale
say Burt Reynolds.
Say that again.
We'll have to go down to the beach this afternoon, see the original Daytona Beach track.
That's where it all started.
Yeah. I remember that from Cars 2.
Cars 2 or Cars?
Cars, comma 2.
Comma 2.
Earlier on today, we were at the current Daytona Speedway, but actually, the concept of Daytona and maybe even NASCAR, kind of, apart from moonshine running, NASCAR sort of started actually here, about, what was it, like 10 miles away. And this is a place called Ponce Inlet.
Yeah, Ponce. I don't think it is an insult in America.
I don't think so. And on this beach, from this corner here, this was the starting line of the original beach-based track, and it was literally just the beach. None of these apartment buildings were here. It was just sand dunes, and they made a track about 4.1 miles long, all the way down there, up here, and around in a big loop. So I suppose that's where they got the whole loop thing from, and they just liked it enough that they kept using it. And that was in the late 1940s, and cars such as the fabulous Hudson Hornet we saw earlier would have raced. In fact, 1951, the year the Hudson Hornet was introduced, won here at that year's Daytona. The starting line is just behind you, behind us. There's a restaurant there now which has a load of racing heritage stuff in it. We just ate there, but actually it caught fire, so our food was free. Fair enough, I guess.
They sent us onto the beach and told us not to worry about the tab. So I'm only annoyed I didn't get drunk.
Yep.
But very good food if it opens again.
Oh, lovely! Yeah, I'd definitely go back there if it doesn't catch fire.
The food is as good as the heritage.
And yeah, so you can actually. We didn't really know what a beach track would be like, but we've come down here. It's quite compact sand. You actually probably could drive on it, okay?
It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's not like Port Rush here, or Port Stewart.
This is the Port Stewart of America.
Daytona, the Port Stewart of America.
Beautiful. Racing events actually have been taking place on this beach since as early as 1902. And in the 20s, they started doing land speed records here. Because, I mean, look at it. You'd never run out of road. Henry Seagrave drove his Sunbeam 1000 to over 200 miles an hour here in 1927, which is, when you think about it, you know, in the 20s.
Could you imagine doing that kind of speed on like
Drum
1920s
brakes.
Tires, drum brakes?
Drum brakes.
If they even had drum brakes, it probably just had a big bit of wood they just dug into the
wood
ground.
in the thing. And he did, I think it was about 210, 211 miles an hour he picked up along this bit of beach. And he didn't die doing it either.
I don't know if you have to clarify.
I think. Well, you know the way like in Utah and the salt flats and all, they all like...
Oh, they all died horrifically, yep.
Yeah.
There's probably more deaths at actual Daytona Speedway than here.
Yes. But in the late 1950s, I think they must have just decided they wanted a proper track for it, and that's when Henry France... Was it Henry France?
Somebody France.
We're good at documentaries. That's when Henry France... We're going to call him Henry. We'll call him Henry.
Because every pioneer of the automobile industry is a Henry.
Henry Benz invented the motor car. Henry France decided to build the Daytona Speedway as it is now, over there. As the sun went down over Daytona, we travelled north up the coast road in search of the next automotive intrigue. The next morning, while enjoying a hearty IHOP breakfast, Tomo spotted this C4 Corvette, which neither of us had ever seen in the flesh. The owner was good enough to show us the spinning pop-up lights in action.
And you go out through the big glass doors, right past the beggars and the freaks out on the sidewalk. You give your ticket to the man who brings the quiet car. Real leather and electric lights. Accelerator down, you head out toward the setting sun.
We came across the Classic Car Museum of St. Augustine, which aside from being a museum, is also classic car storage, which ensures a constant variety in exhibits as people move vehicles in and out.
Blood where you first begun. That dazzling climb to your destiny. And all the while, time like a wire wheels rushing by, time pulling at your sleeve. You try to close your eyes. Why won't it let me be? Time like a wire wheel. Time like a wire wheel.
We got a tip off to head across the state and check out Don Garlits' Drag Racing Museum.
Sun comes up.
So we're out here at Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum, which is the home of the fastest things on 4 wheels and 2 wheels. With an average speed of 200 miles per hour across every car here, it's mind-blowing. So there's everything here from twin-engined Buick dragsters to crazily designed aerodynamic machines to motorbikes with engines that are barely contained.
Yeah.
It's mad. So despite being called 427 Motorsports, our favourite engine really is, well, mine. Connor's probably going to say some kind of Mercedes engine, but my favourite engine is the 426 Hemi, which came out 60s. Originally the Chrysler Hemi came out in the 50s, but the one that we know and love from the likes of your Dodge Chargers and Plymouth Superbirds and stuff like that, they came out in the 60s, late 60s. They're so named after the hemispherical combustion chambers. Wow. We should walk into it, Connor. They're so called after the hemispherical combustion chambers, but it was one of the most common questions people asked back in the day was, has it got a Hemi in it?
Yes.
They're also nicknamed the Elephant because they were such a big brute of an engine. You can tell a Hemi from a mile away because of the bright orange paintwork that they came with.
Nice.
They had 425 horsepower, and if you had a Hemi engine back in the day, there wasn't really anything standard that could touch you.
Really?
Yeah, it was the be-all, end-all of engines. Like, you tore up any strip, any traffic light drag race, you were gone.
How long did that last for before somebody else caught up with it?
Well, they didn't. The fuel crisis happened, and then in 71, the Hemi was dead. So
sad.
Nobody else made anything that competed. Ford had their 427s, and I think Chevy had a 440, something like that.
Yeah.
But nobody could touch the Hemi. So these are the Mooneyes cars that started it all, which to me is incredibly special to get to see in person. These were created in the 59, I think, and then the early 60s. And originally from California, Dean Moon actually raced them in England, which I didn't know, which explains why so many English people I know who Mooneyes are, and nobody from our way does. But Mooneyes is something that we really, really like on the channel. That's why we paint everything yellow. It's why we have a pair of eyes on nearly everything that we have. Even Connor has them on his Mercedes, which is kind of saying something that doesn't normally happen. So Mooneyes are a company that, again, as I said, are based in California, and they make hot rod parts, but they're also now based in Japan as well, and their whole thing is trying to keep the old school alive, really. Whether it's through car shows or events or the products they sell, you name it, they try and keep the retro alive, and I think it's really, really cool.
Back on the road again, this time heading to the Panhandle, to a museum we'd heard about in Tallahassee. Along the way, we spotted plenty of curiosities.
There's a restless wind around me, just like the wind that blows down Main Street. Though I've never really felt it, I've heard it in my dreams. Coming out of the plains, so strange and sweet. I came from that city you all read about.
So here we are in Tallahassee with another collection of pre-war cars that we don't know anything about.
So we're going to skip them.
Yeah, if you want to hear about them,
Go watch a promo or something.
Find a different YouTube channel. Feed him the speedball.
Don't he'll die.
This man enjoys Riders on the Storm in Blues Brothers 2000.
It wasn't Riders in the Storm, it was Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Blues Brothers 2000, the acclaimed sequel to Blues Brothers 1980, and the official video of Tallahassee.
I meant Terry Pratchett. I said Terry Pratchett.
Blues Brothers 2000, the acclaimed sequel to Blues Brothers 1980, and the official video of Terry Pratchett.
Is it up ahead? Did I take a wrong turn? Can you help me, please? Help me find the way back to Main Street.
Do we have to keep that diesel trucking?
We were going to be eastbound and down by the end of this one.
Has Smokey got his ears on?
Smokey's got his ears on. This is one of the most recognisable film cars of all time. I think it's fair to say the Bandit Trans Am from Smokey the Bandit. I don't know which one this is. This is from Smokey the Bandit 2.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I had to look at the front of it to see because they used two different cars.
All right, okay.
So this is the later one, which wasn't as powerful. It wasn't actually a very good car.
Looks
But
good though.
It looks good.
Black
yeah.
and gold does work.
Yeah. Smokey and the Bandit 2, I think, is the one where they transport an elephant.
There's Bert.
There's good old Bert. But yeah, Smokey and the Bandit 2 is the one where they transport the elephant across the country instead of beers. That's cool.
Fair enough. They used the same sort of formula, didn't they? They were like,
Oh, it's the same film, like.
Smokey
100% same.
Smokey and the Bandit was a good film. Let's do that again.
People like them. Let's make some more of them.
What's this?
So that up there is the model that is on my desk back home.
It's Dodge Viper, right?
That's the original Dodge Viper.
And this is the first Viper you've seen in the flesh.
That's the first time I've ever seen a Dodge Viper. Unfortunately, it's far away, so I can't actually get up close to it. But
That is a shame.
so that was the original one that Carroll Shelby helped develop with Dodge.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was one of the last cars Carroll actually properly developed. That wasn't just here's a Mustang, but a bigger engine in it.
Yeah.
He actually properly helped develop that one.
Okay.
And it had no roof.
No option at all for even a bit of canvas.
No, I don't believe so. And then the windows, there were windows they had to stick on.
All right.
There's no windows
No
in the
windies
doors.
at all.
Nope. There's no door handles on the outside either.
Oh, so you just reach in.
You have to reach in and open the door. It was so old school. Like. It was the Cobra reborn was the point of it, which it really was. It was a V10 just shoved into whatever they could shove it into. They built the car around the engine. They had this V10 from a Dodge Ram, and they were like,
Let's put it in this.
"What can we put this into?" The Cobra was born.
Oh.
And they used to have a warning sticker on the side because that's where the exhausts are.
Just in case you.
Yeah, the sticker
burn
said,
yourself.
"Please stop burning yourself." So they had to change that by the time the GTS, the
Yeah.
coupe one, came along because there were too many people just burning themselves.
It's easy done. I had a 50cc quad when I was young, and I put my hand down on the exhaust one day, and I never did it again.
Funny, I had an 80cc quad and I
use
caught
something?
my ankle against the side of the engine and never did that again. Let me
No,
tell
you only do it once. You don't need a sticker.
I
You just
learned that
need-
day you always wear socks.
And then underneath that, you've got one of those hideous things that you
Shut
like.
up, they're really cool.
Plymouth Prowler.
The only thing that upset the Plymouth Prowler was that they only offered it with a V6 with an automatic.
Right.
It's designed for people who live in Florida.
Is that right?
They're a cool looking thing.
Let us know in the comments.
They were cool, right? Think of this. That was the only way you were going to buy a hot rod new.
You're not selling it to me.
Shut up.
How's that? Is it everything you hoped for?
I love it. That's the closest thing I could ever afford to a real one. Actually, probably not. That's probably more expensive than a real Prowler.
I was going to say, they're not exactly...
No, not at all.
Nope. So this is a 65 Ford Galaxie 500. And it's actually a police car. It's an unmarked police car from...
How did you know that?
From Fort Lauderdale. Because I know. And basically what this detective that was in Fort Lauderdale was like, listen, the police cars that we have, everybody knows them already, like insignias and stuff.
This is the Vauxhall insignia of its time.
No, this wasn't. They were using whatever they were using back then.
Belvedere's and...
Yeah, and he said, number two, I can't catch anyone in them. So he said to his police chief, I need a car that's capable of catching people and that I won't be really obvious in. and they bought him this huge Ford Galaxie 500. And it's got what, if you come in here, it's got like what Ford called the police package. So it's got different rocker covers and stuff. I assume it's got different lifters and things in there.
Still only a 390 though. Like, what year was this?
65.
Like, the 427 was out for a long time by then. You'd think if they were going to give him something to catch people in, whenever you had Hemis and stuff out there,
Yeah.
they'd have given him a 427. But I suppose the police budget didn't stretch to that. Too many donuts.
Exactly. So he actually kept it when he retired, and they found it in 1999 in his garage, and then it was done up and brought here. But really cool car. Lovely shade of green. Now here we have the only thing, I think probably the only one thing in this museum I'm really truly qualified to talk about, and even then, I've never owned one. An R107 SL Mercedes.
You sure it's not the smart car behind it?
Yeah. This is actually an SLC, so it shows how much I know.
Very little.
These were made from 1974 to 1989, so it was the longest running of the SLs. Obviously the SLC was basically an SL, a little bit longer, with a fixed roof.
Devon Miles had one in Knight Rider.
Yep. And
Okay.
this is an American spec car, so it's got sealed beam headlights and 5-mile-an-hour bumpers because it was the 70s.
And people were just driving into stuff.
This is a fairly early car as well, actually, because it's got hubcaps. And if you look inside it, it's got the early 70s spec steering wheel, the same as my 115 has.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at all the instruments, I don't know if it was just an American Mercedes thing, but I think it's just an American car thing, but everything is labelled with words, where we wouldn't have that. They don't do symbols.
Because they assumed that everybody who would drive this here would speak English.
Yeah. So, it's like lights, choke. No, actually, it doesn't have a choke. It's
Class A.
It's Bosch D-Jet fuel injected. So this is a 450, so it's a 4.5 V8 car. Of course, they made these and then everything from the 6-cylinder M110 engine all the way up to the 560 V8 in the later years.
Did they put a diesel in one?
No.
Can we?
No. Ford Thunderbirds are go, or Ford Thunderbirds are not go.
Well, to everybody else, they were not go, but to me, I like them. And never mind Thunderbirds. If you ever watched The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, there were Thunderbirds in that.
I think there was only one.
Well, every car in that was a Ford.
Yeah, there were mostly Ford
Focuses
Focuses, and then
stuff.
only one person had a Ford Thunderbird. I think it was the woman, the mother of, or was it Shooty Face? What do you call him? Alec Baldwin.
Anyway, this was Ford's attempt at reviving the Thunderbird name in the early 2000s, and I think they were really, really cool, but a lot of people did not like them.
I actually liked them well enough to look at. I
That's
don't know
not
what
what
they
you
were.
said in the car on the way here when we saw one, but okay.
No, I did.
You're lying to the camera.
No, I said I liked it well enough. I wouldn't lie for the camera.
That's bollocks, but
I
go
would
on.
just tell you I didn't like it, like I do with all the Chevys.
Fair enough. These were based on. These weren't anything special like what they were based on.
What are they
They
based
were
on? What are they based on?
Any manner of Fords from the time, but
Whatever was on the production line that
Yeah,
day,
whatever
they just
was-
got a Thunderbird.
some of them came out as a Focus and they were half the length. But no, these were basically a styling exercise, and you either loved them or you hated them. At the time, everybody was doing retro cars, whether
They
it was
were.
the
That
PT
was-
Cruiser or
that
it
was
was the
it.
Fiat 500.
That
We
was
talked
the
about
early
it in a
2000s.
podcast once, actually.
Yeah.
But I really like them. Silver is quite an understated colour on it. It modernises it a bit because a lot of them
Yeah.
came in pastel colours like
They
baby
did.
blue and pink. And I'm just thinking of the one from Thunderbirds now. But the
Yes, that's right.
one was bright pink.
Because did they make it 6-wheeled for Thunderbirds? I can't remember.
Yep, they did. I just know we're unlocking some memories for some people
Yeah.
at our age that are watching this when that film came out. But yeah, pretty cool. You still
Very
see
nice.
these on the street, which is
Over here you do. I've never seen one in the UK.
They never sold them in the UK.
But people import like random stuff like that. I've never seen anyone do it.
Nobody would dare import one.
You wouldn't.
I don't think these are both big enough for the length of the thing. But yeah,
How dare you? Poured a Ford Thunderbird.
Refused at the docks. Sent back. So this one here is really, really cool. This is a 1987 Buick Regal GNX. And what's special about these is the Regal was just a normal, standard, everyday car. So picture this as being, for the same comparison as earlier, a Bora.
Yes,
Think of
we
this
love
as a
Boras.
Bora. And then Volkswagen decided, right, let's ask McLaren to stick an engine in it for us. That's what happened here. So it was just near the end of like the fuel crisis, things were starting to get a little bit faster and turbochargers were getting a little bit cheaper. So this was the first American production car to have a turbocharger installed to a V6, and McLaren helped design the V6, and it just decimated everything in its path at the time. They only came in black.
Really?
Black wheels. They were just so mean looking. They had really cool badges on the side showing that they were turbocharged and stuff like that.
Was the Grand National still dominating NASCAR at the time?
Yeah, it was, yeah. They were kicking butt everywhere. So it was kind of a tribute to the NASCAR winner.
Yeah.
This was the end of Buick deciding to do muscle cars. After this, they just started doing
Insignias.
rebadged Vauxhall Insignias. So over here we have what's known as the Tri-Five. So Chevy released their, well, everybody knows the 57 Bel Air, but Chevy released,
There's one there.
yeah, between 55, 56 and 57. These three shapes of Chevrolet were called the Tri-Fives.
Okay.
So you have your 55 here, your
Yeah.
56 here, and your 57s here.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a 57 there. Never mind.
No, that's the first shape. They got a bit more ostentatious as they went along.
There's not much difference, is there?
Not really, no, but you can tell by the signature V
Grills and things, yeah.
badge that Chevrolet used on them.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the original one, but it was on the 56 and the 57.
Yeah.
So that's how you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
These were, the Bel Air was like the highest trim level. I'm not sure what they actually called the series, whether it was the 300 or something like that, or whether it changed based on engine, but the highest trim level of Chevrolet sedan was the Bel Air.
Okay.
The coolest one here, even though everybody loves the 57, for me it's the 56, because
the
this is
Nomad.
actually a Nomad.
Wagon, yeah.
The Nomad was what they called the estate version, and Tim Allen in Home Improvement restored a Chevy Nomad throughout the series.
Did
and
he?
that's, yeah, so that's why the Chevy Nomad has always kind of stuck with me, because he was always talking about the Nomad in the shop.
Oh, okay.
So, Chevy Nomad.
That's a beautiful colour as well. Beautiful
Absolutely
two-tone green.
gorgeous. I would never have thought to combine dark green with
Light green,
light green,
but they did.
but it works.
It does work.
The paint is called Highland Green.
Healing green.
I watched the Highlander movie. It was shit. So yeah, this is the universally known 57 Chevy that everybody loves. And to be fair, how could you not? They just got everything right. There's not a single bad angle on any of these. They are the epitome of 1950s Americana.
It's beautifully styled. It's not too much like the Caddies.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything about them's just right.
And then what's that? Is that another 57?
Yes, this is a convertible. This is a hard top.
Okay.
So that's a one owner car according to the thing.
Nice.
And this is also one owner car. I wonder whether they're the same owner.
Can you imagine?
Imagine that being your garage.
How
Like.
extra.
Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed our walk around the history of the American motor car here in Tallahassee, Florida.
I hope Elvis enjoyed it.
I think he
Yes,
did.
same. Eat Elvis the cheeseburger.
Oh Lord. When you're in finished, cheeseburger still sucking.
Cheeseburger still in you.
We hope you've enjoyed our little tidbits of information. Everything we've told you in this video has been mostly off the cuff, except for specific facts and figures. So it's just telling you our own knowledge and stories with the cars.
Mostly
So,
wrong.
Mostly wrong, but here, it's funny. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at Tom.Patterson, Connor on Instagram at Hughes Corporation, Mr. The King here on Instagram at the.king.
Maybe.
I don't think Elvis has Instagram, but if he did, it would probably just be like, he'd be one of those types that goes to restaurants and orders cheeseburgers and takes photos and sends them everywhere and then dies in the toilet. That cheeseburger was killer.
That's the face there. when somebody's talking shit about you 40 years after you died.
Yeah, imagine that when somebody's standing next to a statue of you taking the piss out of you.
I think you've made it in that case.
Aye. Someday we'll have to open our own museum with statues of ourselves at the front of it.
Us and the Blues Brothers and Elvis, and we'll all have our mouths open so you can feed us. Anyway.
Feed him the TDA. Yes, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week, and good luck.